Alright, now it's time to talk about how to survive a zombie outbreak. This is definitely, if you want to survive in those things, the first thing is you got to stay as far away from the zombies as you can. Don't try to fight them and shoot them and enjoy that too much, because you know what happens every time there's an outbreak. The guys who love their guns too much and love shooting them, eventually they go out there, they kill a lot of them, but then they run out of bullets and they get eaten alive by the zombies. So, the more important thing to have, the best weapon you can have is a car, or better a truck, or even better a plane so you can fly over. And definitely a helicopter's good, and you want to land on the top of buildings and look out. You do not want to be walking around down there. Like in Dawn of the Dead 2004, they made a huge mistake. They took this stupid truck through the city. And, it was hard to navigate. They couldn't get through the zombies. I mean, they got stuck halfway through, and, they just barely managed to get to the marina. But, if you try and drive a vehicle through, there's going to be a lot of obstructions. There's going to be a lot of those things out there. And your car's going to break down or have a flat tire. Chances are there have been all kinds of debris in the road, and you'll get stuck there and and you're dead. So you want to basically stay as far away from the zombies. Try and fly over, and the best places to be, find a police station where they may have SWAT vans, they may have guns, or a hospital with an airplane, or even better, like a Walmart. I mean, Walmart has guns, but they also have food and they also have supplies, and you want to weld the door shut and weld the building up so you get out through the roof. And you always want to make sure that you got plenty of juice, and plenty of power, so that way the lights won't go out. I mean, you would not want to be trapped in a building without light, and then those zombies can smell you through the walls and get to you before you even know it. I mean, like in The Hills Have Eyes, I mean, you have to be off your feet. You have to be able to tell if they're coming after you. And, in those situations, you gotta shoot them in the head. But more importantly than shooting the zombies, you don't take the time or energy to burn them. It wastes fuel. You need to keep as much fuel as you can, keep a vehicle loaded at all times, and you have to always have an escape plan. And you always have to get lots of supplies, try and hold it out, stay in the Walmart as long as you can, because there's plenty of food, and chances are the zombies are going to lose momentum as they run out of targets. And, if you, like in Dawn of the Dead, they freaked out. And they were so obsessed on leaving that mall, they're like, I don't want to die here. Well, it's better than being out there. I mean, it was a sure supply of food, and they weren't so sure of where they were going, that it was going to be safe. I mean, they may have never found that island, for all you know. They may have run out of fuel in the middle of the lake. I mean, if they don't have GPS or stuff, you start trying to go out, and you may end up stuck in the middle of nowhere. And you see all this carnage, and you see all these zombies just coming out of nowhere, and sooner or later you're going to run out of bullets. You're going to have one zombie, then you're going to have 10, then you're going to have 10,000 after you, and they're not going to stop. So, you could be in a gun shop and you'll just spend the last bullet and then end up having those things eventually get in and get you. So you want to make sure that you're as far away from them as you can. You go out to the boondocks, go out of the cities, because the cities have lots of people, and you want to be out in the middle of nowhere. I mean, you got to shoot the zombies in the head, but, if you have a gun, get a pitchfork, because you can get the zombies with a pitchfork from a considerable distance. And if you want a gun, the best gun's an AK-47, because it's good to it's easier to aim in short distance, and it can hold 30 bullets in the clip, so you have a good chance of shooting. And the penetration could go through one zombie and into another, so you could be able to have multiple kills with one shot. I mean, and if you're going to do guns too, you want a Tech 9 with, a 35 bullet clip, because you're going to have a lot of those things after you. And, you do not want to have automatic guns, because you're going to spray out all the bullets in a short time. You got to take headshots immediately, and you got to be quick off your feet. A chainsaw, people say, oh, I want one of those. No, that thing's going to splatter blood on you. I mean, you're better off having an 18-wheeler or a very powerful vehicle that can just mow right over them. And you're better off having a plane. So, I mean, people talk about that. Now, some people will say, dress like a zombie. Like in Shaun of the Dead. No way. Because they can smell that you're alive. These things have better senses. They can have both. They could be missing both of their eyes and they can still tell you're there. I mean, zombies have that kind of sense. And they are not going to die. They're going to be out there waiting for you. I mean, in those situations, people all talk about studying the virus. Well, the real thing they should do is study, can we make a vaccine for this? Kidnap some zombies and turn them back into people. Or cure it. That would be better. People study too much on killing zombies, but, it gets into a moral issue in the zombie movies because you'll have people who enjoy shooting them a little too much, and then they run out of bullets and the zombies eat them alive. And so, then the smarter people save their bullets and try and stay in a safe location and act wisely, and they do better. And, if you're going to hang around people, you want people like CJ, or you want people like the Clint Eastwood guy in Gran Torino, or you want people like the Leonardo DiCaprio guy in Blood Diamond who have been in the military, who are realists, who are tough, scrappy people that can come up with solutions, and who do well in disaster situations. You don't want passive people who, are going to botch up shooting zombies. And you do not want to hang out with thugs, because a thug will take your car and your gun and leave you in the middle of nowhere. They'll just leave you somewhere in the middle of the night and they'll be gone. I mean, and a thug's going to take your gun. If you had 80 bullets and that's all you had in one gun, the thug would take that gun and empty it into the crowd of zombies from the roof and say, oh my god, that's so fun. And he'd end up spending all your bullets and using up all the supplies, very foolishly. So those are certain ways to survive zombie outbreak, but, you need a lot of food. And you need to save a lot of fuel, so that way you have a vehicle that you can get far on. And you want to get out of the cities into a safer location where there's going to be less of them. And stay in higher areas. And if the zombies come after you, you make them pursue you till they get weak, and that's when you strike. And you try and stay in places that are zombie-proofed. And, harder for them to get in. Like a police station and a jail would be armored, and there would be considerable security there. You just wouldn't want to run into somebody there that might be trouble for you. But it would be a safer place. And so basically that's how you want to survive a zombie outbreak. And, obviously don't get bitten. And, don't try to fight these zombies if you see them. Don't run up to the crowd with a crowbar or a baseball bat or a gun and start shooting them, or they're going to get you. I mean, you shoot a zombie in the head and the blood splatters on you and then you're infected. You want to stay away from it. You want to stay away from those things, and you will need to fight for your life. And every bullet you have should be safe, and you should make weapons other than your gun, so if you run out of bullets, you're not dead. And, basically that's how to survive, and thanks for watching.